Yes, guys, so quick video to talk you through my thoughts on what's happening in the coaching space right now as it relates to AI and the demand for coaching services and mentoring services. So I had a call last night with one of my clients, and he is, in every sense of the word, an expert. He's really, really good at what he does. He's actually a barber business mentor. He also owns a chain of barber shops. He's been in the barbering game for decades, and he knows it inside out. He recently took on a client, another barber business shop owner, and he took him from about £6,000 a month to £10,500 per month. And he did that in 6 weeks. You might think that, okay, this guy clearly knows what he's doing. He clearly can get results. He clearly has a ton of experience. Why does he need to talk to Owen every week? Why does he need help from Owen? And I actually discussed this with him on the call last night because we were discussing just what the marketplace looks like right now. And the reality is that we now live in a information overload versus, oh, here's the sun. I didn't expect that. Nice. An information overload versus an information scarcity environment. And previously, people would pay for information, right? So you would buy a coaching program, or you get access to a mentor or a coach or whatever it was that you invested in order to get information and get answers. But what has happened over the last few years, partially due to the amount of free content on the internet, partially due to the number of coaches and creators who are now in the game, and then massively, in part, or massively due to AI and just the fact that the cost of replication of informational content is basically at zero. Like, there's people online who are giving away courses for free that you would have paid 5K for 3 or 4 years ago, or maybe even 2 years ago. So the whole marketplace and dynamic is kind of shifting, where we have this abundance of information, and we have every strategy, and we have every tactic, and we have every little step. But if we think about all of these tactics or strategies or things that we could do, so let's just take, social media, for example. We could do Instagram, we could do LinkedIn, we could do YouTube, we could do Facebook, we could do TikTok. That's just 5 platforms. Let's leave it there. Inside each of those platforms, we could do, on Instagram, we could do Reels, we could do posts, we could do stories, we could do carousels. And then going a level deeper just on this one platform, what is the function of these Reels or posts or stories or carousels? Are they top of funnel to bring strangers into our world and bring traffic into our world? Maybe we have another traffic source, and this content is there as middle of funnel to start converting people and putting them into a sales process. There's so many levels to every single little thing, where asking a question like, should I post Reels, just means absolutely nothing. That alone, without context, doesn't matter. You could post Reels, but then you have to decide, are my Reels for my current followers? Are they to bring in new traffic? And if they are to bring in new traffic and I'm getting followers from my Reels, well, then what do I have for my existing audience, who are the kind of middle of funnel people who I need to nurture and build more trust and engage more? And, there's so many layers to every little decision. And I see a lot of coaches focusing on, they're thinking about individual pieces. So they're like, maybe I should do YouTube, or maybe I should do more Reels, or maybe I should do ads, or maybe I should do in-person events. And they're doing all of these things, and none of those things are inherently wrong, but do they all work together? Are they all part of a coordinated system? And in most cases, the answer is no. And when I spoke to my client on our call, we kind of spoke about this, where the need for coaching and mentoring right now, as far as I can see from the people I work with, is greater than ever, because people need guidance. They need to be shown what to do and what not to do. And instead of having all of this information that they need to sift through and understand and then fail at and make their own kind of decisions and walk their own path, they actually want somebody else who's walked the path to show them what to do, to make this a easier process for them to follow. And so if you are some sort of a coach or some sort of a mentor or some sort of a consultant right now, you can be terrified about the fact that information is basically free everywhere, and you can be replaced for your kind of teaching and information purposes, but you can also look at it as an opportunity to start to guide people through this abundance of information where they don't actually know what to do. They're getting stuck on very small decisions. And, you know, my client, when I spoke with him last night, one of the things we kind of laughed about was how much time he had previously spent on small decisions about what software to use. You know, should I use the $20 one or the $22 one? And fundamentally, it made no difference. But it's still, you know, he spent a lot of time researching and checking up on the benefits of this and the features of this and which one he should use. And fundamentally, that was just pick one and go with it. It didn't matter. But he is someone who, you know, tends to kind of go down these rabbit holes of researching everything, reading into everything, feeling like he needs to do everything. And so the value that I can bring to him is not to show him how to get results. He already knows how to do that. I don't have to tell him how to run a business. I just have to tell him what to avoid and what to focus on the online side of things. So what he should actually be putting his attention on. And if he wants clients this week, he doesn't need to build a new funnel. And if he wants leads long term, well, then he maybe should be looking at a funnel or something along those lines. So it's just really, what is the problem that we're trying to solve? And of the 1,000 things we could do, what are the 2 or 3 things we actually should be doing to move the business forward to the next point, or the next checkpoint or the next mark on our journey, and just making that journey, almost giving the map and then guiding people through that map and not leaving them to their own devices. Because if you go onto social media now, you just see so many different opinions. People saying you should do this, you should do that, you should do high ticket, you should do low ticket, you should do you know, upsells, you should do paid in fulls, you should do monthly recurring payments, you should do split payments, you should do subscriptions, you should, like, there's just so much conflicting information, and everyone has a really good case and a really good argument for why their version is the best. And the truth is that there is no best. There is only best for a specific person at a specific stage of the journey and based on what they actually want from their life and their business, what is the right thing for you. So I think at this point in time, the role of the coach or mentor is very, very important, because your potential clients are inundated with information. They're getting bombarded by ads and content and everything else telling them, stop doing it this way, start doing it this way. They're confused, they're burnt out, they're procrastinating, they're consuming, but they're not actually making progress towards the thing that's important for them. If this was useful, click the link, join my email list. I share loads of this stuff every single day, and I'll catch you in the next video.